What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to today's market analysis or trade recap episode. Today is Thursday, December the 4th. We took one winning trade here today, capturing 19 ticks pretty early on. Unfortunately, in the remainder of the market session, we didn't really get any opportunity that we wanted to gauge, simply because there's a lot of big wicky price action that we've been seeing. Like, these are crazy reversals, crazy wicks. It's not the type of action that we want to gauge the market with, but that being said, I will see if we missed out on anything. I don't think we did, and I don't think I'm gonna spend too much time on this market analysis video, but hopefully my mic sounds pretty good now. I've realized that I've been using the wrong mic the entire time for my videos instead of the correct mic, which is the one that I'm using right now. So hopefully it's a lot better quality and all that, right? So here's the idea for the day. Hold on. Alright. Goddamn. Alright. Uh. Okay, yeah. So we pushed above. What was my idea for pre-market? I don't even remember. I'm gonna be honest. Let's just when in doubt, mark it out. Hold on. Wasn't that for sure? Aha. So remember we were talking about this being the entire volume, high volume node region. We've went above this region that we've been struggling to break, right? So overall my bias was bullish. But what we've also seen was that we were unable to hold above that region and we started coming down again. So if we came down again, well, where would I expect price to go? I would expect price to go to this high volume node here, which we had marked out. Now, that being said, we might just fake out a move back in and continue heading towards the upside. So there are a variety of things, but the main thing that we're looking for was how price reacts to this region here and to bookmap liquidity and how it all works under context. If you break lots of bookmap levels, enter into a low volume node with low icebergs, we should be able to head much higher. If not, if there's lots of buy icebergs or anything of that nature, or I mean, if there's a lot of selling passive sellers, then potentially we may head down into high volume node or potentially even lower into this 4 hour. And I mean, today we've hit the high volume node, had a crazy wick, and now we went to this upper liquidity that we had marked out. So pretty cool seeing how our levels are playing out to the par, right? Literally, come to this high volume node acts at that reversal level. We head straight to this upper liquidity that we have marked out. And same is essentially on NQ as well, but we just have a lot less marked out. Uh, uh, Alright, so let's get straight into it and I'll analyze why we took this trade that we did. And it was pretty early on the market as well. So right away, market open. One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just pull out the news for the day, just so you guys can see what we had going on, right? So today we had unemployment claims and IVPMI. 7:30 unemployment claims. It wasn't anything too crazy, right? It was 191K. If you look at it, there's no real news liquidity that played any impact. Potentially, individuals could argue that this lower region could have been swept out like such, and then after we swept this level out, the news liquidity, and we saw this big pump which aligned with the performance of the news, which was bullish. That could be an argument, but we don't trade pre-market, so it doesn't really matter for us. What mattered to us was that this high was made. Potentially that high could be a target or stop loss depending on what we do. It's just more information that could potentially be used to our advantage. But what we've seen was that right upon market open, we've seen big selling that literally pushed below this region. And we rebalanced back up as well, and then we continued seeing that selling pressure. We went down, retraced up, we didn't break anything, and we continued to head down, literally within this fair value gap. And I would honestly expect that there was passive liquidity on Bookmap and absorption, which can literally be seen here. Buying volume here, buyers were unable to push above, price dumped. So pretty textbook in that sense. What we also see is that in the selling, there's stacked imbalances. So I wouldn't want to see price break above this region. And would you take a look at the precision that the order flow gives us? That's literally, quite literally, the place where price stopped. And if you go and only take advantage of this, that's even more precise. But yeah, I mean, showing the power of order flow right there. But let's see. There's a market open, drop down, and we start retracing into this passive Bookmap liquidity right here. And that being said, CVD is still towards the downside, but lots of passive sellers at this region, and those sellers trap these buyers. And you can see on Bookmap as well, there's clearly trapped buyers at that region. And now, as you can see, we're falling down again. Now, just simply looking at the Bookmap chart, tell me where you think we're gonna go. There's multiple levels that you can assume, right? You can assume this level, this level, this level, all different types of levels, right? But where do you think the highest probability of price going to is, just simply looking at Bookmap? Well, it's quite obviously this 6855 region. This is clearly a big target for price. We've seen this retracement, seller continuation. Now price likely has a high probability we're gonna head to the 6855 region. And yeah, I mean, that's literally the basis of this trade that we take right here. And yeah, that's no, I can't really say anything more than that. It's literally the basis, right? We saw price continuing to head down, right? And you'll see after here in a minute. All right, we see price coming down here. Right? Well, look at this, right? Saw the retracement into passive liquidity, saw buyer absorption, continuing to head down, balancing out, sellers broke through, signaling selling again. Big sellers coming in. We retrace now. Now that we've retraced, there's a decent value entry here, right? Because we could place our stop loss 62.5, 63, I think, or 64, yeah. Because we wanted to match these highs right here, which is likely the top wick of the candle so far. Yeah, literally the top wick of the candle so far. We want our stop to be around that region, simply so if we do have a small break of structure in the macro liquidity or in the very low time frame liquidity, or what am I saying? In the very low time frame structure, if we break this region, that could stand as a sign of invalidation. So to keep our risk managed, keep our stop loss around this region, and simply attempt to ride the wave down into the 6855 region. Again, we did enter shorts right at the bottom at 6857. That would not be a good value entry. We waited for the retracement back up to 6860.25, and then we took the shorts. And I'm gonna be honest, we did stall out for a bit. Yeah, we stalled out. Look how we stalled out, right? We fell, and then we stalled out. We fell, we stalled out. That was kind of worrying me out, but we're still following our plan. And eventually, with a bit of patience, these sellers just popped through and our take profit was hit. And when we got close to our take profit, we simply moved our stop to break even around here. Saw price drop here, moved our stop break even, and it was a risk-free trade for us and it worked out in our favor. Now, if you just take a look at the price action that follows, look at the chop that you see on ES from literally 850 to 925. Literally a 35-minute interval of pure chop price action. Very unfavorable conditions. But just take a look at the wiki conditions and the large wicks that we're seeing here. It's not too favorable, if I would say so myself. And you can't really find anything, right? Like right now, if you just take a look at the spread of liquidity, once again, it's very distributed. Nothing is spiking out. Nothing is like significant like we saw here or here or here. Now we have this 111 region at 682.75. Could be a region, but it's kind of far away. I would like to see something closer. 6850 seems like a good region, but I mean, just take a look. It's not 1.5 times the typical. Seems to be around 60. 60 times 1.5 is 9, wait, 60 times 1 point, yeah, that's 90. Yeah, so I want it to be a lot greater than 90. And typically in the standard markets, I like it to be 150. Literally, 1.5 is the bare minimum. And I want to see distribution here. 92, 99, 88, 81, 75, 74. This 90 and this 100, it's not really significant for me to enter anything. And I'm not really seeing anything for me to enter as well. I mean, we do head down into that 6.5 region. Potentially there was an entry here, right? I am seeing some buyer absorption there, but let's see. That 905 candle. Let's see. Hold on. Oh yeah. Hold on. Here in this candle. We do see big buyers entering in around this region. If that happened at 6860, I might have entered in. Let's see. 70, yeah, I mean it's not significant at all. It's not it's not anything significant for me for anything. I mean that 6860 region isn't that significant as well. But we're starting to see this 6850 start to pop out. 130 contracts. That's decent. Not the best once again. But you can see that visible significance on Bookmap. Typically when you see clear visual significance and there's not a lot of other visual significance, it's pretty good. So potential shorts could be taken. Maybe I should have entered short, but as you can see, it would not have worked out. Only after that buyer absorption would it have worked out. Nothing really I'm spotting here. We took out that lower liquidity, started retracing up into that liquidity. I'm gonna speedrun this, hold on. And then we're breaking the upper liquidity, coming down. I'm not seeing any opportunities still. It's very distributed. Not the spread is not the greatest. Upper liquidity does look nice, but there's nothing telling me that we're gonna break it. Buy icebergs are still pretty high. I mean, lots of noise and liquidity. I'm not too favorable in terms of conditions right there. And there's a big sell-off. And then right after, I believe we see a big buy. You'll see what I'm talking about. Big sell, and then even bigger buys. No opportunity within any of this for my strategy at least. Maybe one thing that could have hinted at the longs were that these buy icebergs, the cumulative, were pretty high throughout the session. I'm still working through this. I'm not seeing anything, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I see anything with high probability of happening, I would call it out. What just happened there? Okay, hold on. We do see that this region is pretty significant, right? But we have this preventing us from getting there. That would be at 30. Actually, these buys. Potentially longs here, I don't know. Ooh, that doesn't even look bad. It's just that liquidity preventing that upper liquidity that's kind of annoying. But we're breaking through the upper liquidity. Still, I didn't see. It was probable that we're going to that 6870-ish region or 6867 region, but the spread isn't the greatest. Like, take a look at how tight liquidity is from bottom liquidity to upper liquidity. We actually break through the bottom liquidity here, and you'll see that pretty soon. Big buyer enter in. That being said, we do happen to trap those buyers as we continue to head down. And soon after this, we will buy back up as at 10:05. I want 6855. If it drove price away, nah, it's not really even, it's not even spoofing. Is it spoofing? If it disappears and price shoots below, potentially that's a spoofing order that we could have taken advantage of. It's pretty significant orders down there, I can't lie. We're just stalling around this region. It's 10 a.m. Central Time now at this point. That liquidity is still standing there. And now the spread of liquidity is quite bare. I mean, we take it out, but there's no signal there for us to enter shorts, really. It's preventing us from entering shorts, really. Not seeing anything. No real, maybe 6840, but again, not liking that too much. 47, perhaps, nah, it's not even. Ooh, hold on. Say 48. Hmm. What I was thinking was that we flip this liquidity here, right? And potentially we may want to head lower to the 6847.5 region, but that's literally a higher low than this low. So it is bullish in a sense, but it does make sense for price to head down there. So would it make sense for us to take shorts there? Maybe? Where's a 5 candle? This one. There's not really any buyer absorption near the top, nothing significant. So I don't know if I would have entered. But again, it could be a potential setup. Like, I'm calling it out because maybe in the live session I would have taken it. I don't know if I would have in hindsight, but maybe I would have taken it. So just pointing that out there. I want to be as transparent as possible. But continue moving forward. Again, spread isn't the greatest. Yeah, I mean, that's basically our session over. 10:15, 11:16 EST. And yeah, I mean, that's basically all I got here for today. We've taken one trade, analyzed the entire market, saw that maybe there was one or two trades that we potentially would have taken in the live market, but nothing really stood out in terms of clear signal, high probability trades that we would have taken. So yeah, I mean, the trade which we've taken, it's a decent trade, but perhaps we can potentially take more if they show up tomorrow and in the next few weeks. So with that being said, that's all I have here for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or join the completely free Discord server, which is linked in the description down below. Lots of free resources in there and a great community. Also, if you want to take advantage of the Orderflow tools which I use on a day-to-day basis, the Bookmap live streams, and Addis charts, one of our channel partners, highly recommend you guys to check it out. Those will be linked in the description down below as well. And both of them have plenty free accessibility. So highly recommend it, but as always, do your own research. That being said, that's all I have here for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode, market analysis, trade recap, whatever you want to call it. So I guess I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.